This is a public service announcement brought to you in part by the Prince of Botch himself. What's going on? The following show is called Life's a Botch. But I dedicate this to you, the one listening. No, not the wrestling fan. I'm talking about you, the non-fan. Yeah, you, the casual watcher. Maybe you know somebody or you know of somebody. Maybe you know a name or two, but you don't really watch wrestling. If you're the type of person that doesn't keep up with it, doesn't follow it, don't care for it, probably call it the F word, fake. Oh, yeah, that one. Or maybe you're the type that calls it theatrical, live theater. Or maybe you're the type that calls it just a nice rehearsal of tanglements of sorts. Well, the following show is dedicated to you. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, because you are about to go to school. Hey, start the show up, man.
What's good, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, the Prince of Botch. Welcome to the season premiere, season premiere of Life's a Botch. Are you ready? Hey, man, I know y'all missed your boy. You thought I was gone, right? Y'all thought I was gone. Y'all thought I stopped. No, man, what Big Sean and them say? Why would I stop? I'm unstoppable, baby. This is the Life's a Botch podcast, and y'all already know, man. Your boy took a brief hiatus, you know what I'm saying? Spiritually, man, you got to get right. You got to reset. It's a new year. Happy New Year to everybody, man. We in the year 2022. And there's so much that's going to happen within this year. I'm excited. I'm happy. I got some new stuff that I'm going to try to bring out to y'all within this show. But y'all know how we do, man. First and foremost, it's Black History Month. And there was no better way to come back than in the start of Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. So I got some really dope episodes for y'all like we did. If you haven't checked out the last series, then that means you probably got to go back to last season when February started. You know what I'm saying? Go check out those episodes where we talk about influential Black wrestlers during Black History Month from 2021. However, if you are a, familiar, hey, what's happening, Marks? It's good to have y'all back, man. Y'all my fellow botchamaniacs out there, and I love rocking with y'all. So, hey, man, just thank y'all for rocking with your boy, being patient with your boy. We back. Like I said, it's all consistent from here now, baby. Ain't no more hiatus. Y'all gonna get them consistent episodes week after week after week. Now, that being said, let's go right into the show, man. So first and foremost, I got to introduce y'all. I know I'm known for these intros. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, you probably recognize the face. You've seen this man on our show before. Same face, different occupation, though. Yeah, you see, this guy, let me just say, met him on the scene, man. My boy been like really rocking with you, man. Now, you know what I'm saying, was so friendly to me, man, from day one. Allowed me to bring him on the show back when he was in his reffing stage. That was in the reffing days, you know what I mean, when he was getting the feet wet, stepping into the arena, you know what I'm saying? But man, a lot has happened. A whole lot has happened since the days of being a ref in the business. No, y'all. He ain't reffing no more. He told y'all right here exclusively on this show, if I might add. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go back in the archives, deep in the archives, and check out this episode with this very guest, because he told y'all, I gonna be in the ring. And boy, not only is he in the ring, handing out whoopings, laying smackdowns, tossing them all out the rings, man. This guy is so tribal. I'm talking about so tribal that he one of the originators of the hottest group on the indie scene. That's right. I'm talking about none other than the Last Tribe. I'm talking about my brother from a whole nother mother. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the baddest man in the land. I'm talking about none other than my boy, Darrell Shaw. What's happening, man?
Thank you. You're far too kind, man. You know I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Welcome back to the show, my guy. Been a
Thanks
minute.
for having me, bro.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you the first person ever reached out to me for anything,
bro.
like
Come on.
getting started. So
Come on.
I couldn't tell you, know, man. I make time for you, like
My
just say the
guy.
word.
Likewise, hey, we see we this is what we do, man. We two brothers that's grinding it out right now on the independent scene, doing what we do, man. And we both just been shining ever since the first time we linked up on this very platform. Like I said, my faithfuls out there
Mm,
know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seeing the journey
deep, deep in the archives. Deep in the
deep in the
archives.
archives, man. Y'all seeing the journey, so y'all recognize, y'all know what it is. But yeah, man, welcome back to the show. This is this is things and change, you know what I'm saying? We got segments again, we got, new
Mhm.
backgrounds. We're gonna change the background again on them some more. They just don't know that yet. But uh
Hey,
hey, we here. And first and foremost, dog, let's just go ahead and get into the first segment. This is a segment that we call Put Me Over. So hey, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into that Put Me Over segment.
Okay. You know what? For once, I'm gonna stop talking and chopping about myself, okay? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna blab about you. I'm gonna blab and I'm gonna put my guy over, okay? Hey, yo, put me over.
Hey, put me over. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than my boy Darrell Shaw. Hey, Darrell Shaw, go ahead and tell the people, to the ones that's kind of new to this thing. Maybe they wasn't really listening just yet when you was on the first go round. So by all means, brother, tell the people right now and the people who probably, listened to the early version of you and didn't get a chance to follow what you've done since then. Tell everybody who is Darrell Shaw.
well, first and foremost, it's the big step of Darrell Shaw, straight out the South Side of Chicago.
Mm,
And last time I was on the show, chopping up with my boy Highlight, I doing my ref thing. I was actually phasing out of my ref thing before the pandemic happened. So,
mm,
you know, it's almost like I almost kayfabed you on that when I was kayfabing the world on the ref. Like, I still had to, save face before we started running shows again. So I had to be a ref a little longer than I expected. But hey, I dug it. I had people trying to get me to book me to be a ref on their shows. Like I had fun with it though, but since then, obviously things have changed.
mm,
On the other side of the spectrum now, I don't count the butt whoopings. I hand them out at this point. So, and I've been
mm,
doing it for about over a year now, and I've been moving at a pretty fast pace. I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I was on the expedited course in this.
come
Like,
on.
people told me I was a natural. I've won two titles. I've traveled. I've done different shows and worked with people who's now in NXT and Major League Wrestling. And you see a lot of people I work with on AEW Dark now. So it's
Ooh,
been a journey, just like all the people I've met and made connections with. It's
come on,
crazy.
come on.
It's crazy, man. But I'm enjoying it though. It's stressful, but I enjoy it though, man.
Come on, my guy. That's what I'm talking about. See, you get my boy, two-time champion. Y'all see these championships piling up in this too. It's gonna be 10 times more from this point on, dog. And for every title that my boy win, that means he coming right back on this show to brag about the title he just won because he
Hey,
told y'all he was gonna win that title. All right. So just
win
know
it.
that. Make that noted. You know what I mean? And your
Mm.
boy a champ too, you know what I'm saying? My belt in the room right now. I can't really go grab it because I'm sitting here interviewing my guy. But the Prince of Botch got, his fair share of championships too, apparently, since the last time
Okay,
we did this
okay.
thing. So, I'm about to flex that, the people know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I bring it with me, sometimes I don't. But we gonna show that to them off there. That's all fair for my boys, but
Okay, happy listening.
man, come on now. Come on, look. But Darrell, bro, seriously, man, this is where I just want to say, man, tell the people about the journey and how the last tribe formed, man. Like, how did that even come about?
All right, so the last tribe formed. It started with Big Smooth, who's my brother,
Mm-hmm.
and they was trying to work on an angle. to put the we used to be called Victory Championship Wrestling. We Spartan Pro Wrestling now, but
Mhm.
back in the VCW days, Smooth, there's passing the torch to him. So he was such I ain't cussing on your show, but he was such a dastardly heel at the
Mhm.
time. So they was like, all right, how can he was like just pissing off everybody in the little town we was running in because he was just so good at being a heel. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what's the most dastardly way we can put the title on him and just like get heat galore?
Mhm.
So me, I'm just started off training. I'm like 3 months in or whatever. They
Come on.
looked at me, it's like, what about him? He seemed like he ready. Smooth put me over. So the owner said, yeah, he's ready. So that's when I was became a ref because they needed a ref to make this thing pop. So
Mhm.
they get into 2020. I started refing my kayfabe and the boys pretty much. Like I showing up to train. I'm like, oh yeah, he gonna be a ref now. Trying to be a ref. All right, so
Mhm.
they started training me. I actually had to train to be a ref because even though I was like playing one, you can't give it off to the people. So I had to look like I was legit in there. So don't
Yeah.
raise no concerns. Like I'm already big, so they're just gonna raise eyebrows anyway.
Come
So
on.
I'm in there doing my ref thing. So when that time come, I wish the footage still out there on fight somewhere, maybe. I know I got it. So the time came, it was a spot where Smooth was going against the Golden Boy, Johnny Slaughter, and Slaughter acted like he was about to suplex him off the rope or something like that. And I came up and gave him the the low blow while he up there. And people were like, oh, what just happened? Gave him the low blow, power bombed him off. Smooth came off the second with a splash. 1, 2, 3. Man, heat galore. Like, man, I had to security had to walk me to the back. I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave the building till like everybody was gone. I left the building so late that night, man. Them folks they was out there waiting on me, and I was like, man, I love this.
Yeah, come on, come on. See, and it's nothing like doing what you love, man. And I do remember from having you on the first time, that was all about what it was like. We were sitting here chopping it up about wrestling, but
Oh yeah,
also talking about the fact of how we've loved this since like day one and what got us into
day
this, man.
one,
So
man.
just reintroducing the people into who Darrell Shaw is, who the man is, and the persona that's out there stepping on them. You know what I'm saying? Hot stepping on them, letting them know what it is right here with the last tribe. You feel me?
Got to,
Yeah,
got to.
yeah. So, it's Black History Month, my guy. You know what I mean? This is definitely a very celebrated moment for our culture. You know what I mean? This is that time where we reflect and realize how far we've progressed. And, of course, how long we got to go from the progression that our people before us have led out and laid out. So, this is a wrestling show. And people think, well, it's entertainment, right? What kind of history do you have in pro wrestling? Aha. There's a lot of history in pro wrestling, people. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised at what we go through, even in the wrestling business as Black people. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it. So, I'm gonna ask some things for you. So, let's just start at the top, and let's just ask you this, man. Tell the people who have been Black pro wrestling inspirations. What Black pro wrestlers have inspired you into doing what you do right now?
Well, me, like we done talk like I'm old school with it. So, like the
Mm-hmm.
first Black wrestler I seen was Coco Beware. I thought he was the coolest thing ever.
Come on.
And then from then it was Bad News Brown. I didn't
Mm.
like him. I didn't like him when I was a kid because
Yeah.
babyface heel. You don't like the bad guys.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
growing up, like I patterned a lot of my stuff after him and
Mm.
Butch Reed. When I first started training, I wanted to be like Butch Reed and of
Yeah.
course Ron Simmons and Doom,
Come on.
and so many of them love New Jack growing up because ECW was so different,
Rest in
and
peace. Yeah.
you know, pretty much all of the nation, like even like The Rock and of course Harlem Heat, man. When they hit the scene, like I was like, man, who are these guys and why are they winning everything? Like
Yeah.
I ain't like them because they sealed, but I was mad 'cause they kept winning. I'm like, man, these guys are good.
Come
And then
on.
Booker T just grew on me. So then Lashley came in. I was like, man, We
Mm-hmm.
doing something.
Mm-hmm. Come
But
on.
yeah, Lashley was my guy. Like
Come
still
on.
still my guy.
Yeah.
But man, those were like some of the as far as me starting out
Mm-hmm.
watching wrestling, like those were the people, and it's probably more because WCW had a slew of them. They had Hard Work, Bobby Walker, and Ice Train, and like so many guys, Hard Body Harrison. Just they had a lot of black workers. And can't forget Too Cold Scorpio because he changed the game. So
Highly underrated, man. Highly underrated.
highly,
You know,
that was my guy. He had the fade and everything. He was out there doing it.
come on, man. That is so dope because I like the list of people that you named, even though there's so many you can pick and choose from. The
Oh yeah.
ones off top that you named are some of the most underrated. Like when you mentioned a Bad News Brown, you don't hear him get talked about as much through wrestling history. Some argue and even say that the Stone Cold Steve Austin gimmick is, dare I
I
say,
can see that the
taken
black trunks
from.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people
Oh
say
yeah.
that Stone Cold Steve Austin persona that we love so much is bitten a little bit from Bad News Brown, the originator of that. The
I can
attitude.
see that. All black. I wear the black gloves,
Hmm.
trying to look like him. And of course, I got the Bad News Brown do.
Come
So
on,
no,
come on.
I get some comparisons with him, but
It's
can't
working
nobody
for
beat
you,
them
my guy.
vehicles.
Yeah,
Hey,
it
man,
it works. Take
Bad
it
News
in.
Brown, he's in he's in a league of his own, man.
He is, bro. He is. But I like the fact that a guy like that is actually resurrected, in spirit through a wrestler like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because then that way
Sir.
you can remind people like, hey, no, you need to go back in the day. No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool, that you are able to take wrestlers that don't get enough credit, and be able to like take
Mm.
that influence and say, okay, I'm gonna use that in my character and pick and pull from that. So I really respect that, brother. That's a great thing to do, man. Salute to you for that.
Yes,
um,
sir.
let me see. So, talk to me in general. What does it mean to you? You talk about inspirations and you talk about, who inspired you and who were some of the first black wrestlers that stuck out to you, whether you loved them or hated them, the fact that they stuck out. So, as you got older and you really started to really like, because there's as a kid when you love wrestling, right? You're just a kid. You see characters, you love them, and you hate them. Then you go through mature phase. We talked about this before, where you get in that uncool phase where wrestling isn't necessarily cool to everybody else anymore because you're older now, but you're still liking it and you're still into
Mm.
it. And you start to realize in a deeper meaning about some things. You realize, hey, I never noticed this as a kid. How come I don't see enough of this or enough of that? Little things like that.
Mm.
Um, Tell me what it means to you specifically. What does it mean to be black in pro wrestling?
Man, you could ask that question to about 50 different people and get 50 different answers. So
Mm-hmm.
it all comes down to the individual, honestly. Like, what do you want out of pro wrestling? Like, for one, know that essentially this ain't our game.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't meant for us. So you got to kind of go in with that, like the business owes us nothing. And being black, in professional wrestling, especially in the indie scene, you got to be all about your business. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's a lot of things that other people can get away with that we can't get away with. I ain't saying you got to go out there and be like Uncle Tom, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
being a black wrestler, you definitely got to move a certain way to like get what you want. But you got to
Mm-hmm.
keep it business, like all the way. Like, it got to be business for us. It got to
Mm-hmm.
be.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. Approaching things in a business aspect while being smooth, and if you think about it, it's very similar to the music business in its own way too. Like those same aspects you just mentioned is kind of like how you have to do when you play in the field. Like I'm a rapper, but they want me
Mhm.
to rap about the stereotypical things. I can't just rap about
Yeah,
X, Y, and Z and make money from it. Like
yeah.
so, I get
That's
that.
just that's life in general. Like, if you got a a real job, a shoot job. You don't give all of you at that job. You give enough to make them not want to raise an eyebrow with you. But you're essentially playing the part. Like, if I go to work to make my money and leave, just like I do with these wrestling shows. And I will say, if you black, I might find you that one group, or just some real ones to be
Mhm.
around. One that's not gonna gaslight you. One that's gonna keep it 1,000 with you and
Mhm.
everything. Like, try to push you to make merch and push you to get on the right shows, just not any shows. And like, I'm glad I got that with my brothers, Smooth and Brandon Cash, and of course Skrilla and Tyreek. Like, we all bros in this, but Smooth and Brandon Cash, like, those my bros. So I'm glad I came into wrestling. I did at the time, even though I started out later. But just knowing I'm around them and just how much like game we give each other, like, after the show we hang out after every show,
Yeah.
just be just talking, like, just talking business and talking about, all right, what we gonna do, like, how can we be better in this, like, it's love. So you really need that, because everybody, it's a cold business. So everybody not gonna be looking out for your best interest, because everybody want to be on top. So like I said, find you that right group. I was just blessed enough to just walk right into it, but find you that group, and just hang on to that, man, because like it's a it's a cold business, man. Like, it's a business just like any other business. Like, it ain't just wrestling, but it's
Come on.
cold, man. You gonna need you some 100 brothers on your side.
Oh yeah. So, and you can tell, and I love how you put that in a way where it doesn't give it away, but it's enough to kind of educate. That's
Hmm.
really, this. You've been here before. That's what Life's
Yeah,
a Botch has always been about, man. It's to educate all those out there who don't really know. Like, to my casual listeners out there, my hardcore listeners, y'all kind of already know this because y'all hardcore. But to the
yeah,
casual ones out there who, you either listen to the show because you support your boy, or you listen to the show because you're very intrigued by all this deep intellect conversation about pro wrestling, something you thought was just something people do on television, and you're like, oh,
mhm,
that's it. It's just this and that. No, there's such a deeper analysis on this. And it's so great to educate you guys on that. And so shout out to y'all, man, because y'all make this what this show is. So keeping it alive like that, man. Tell me, for you, now that we know what it is being black, let's talk about black culture. Now, you mentioned being old school in terms of growing up. So tell me, man, you mentioned the Cocoa Bewares, the Bad News Browns. Not sure if we mentioned Junkyard Dog, but like a Junkyard Dog, like growing up,
yeah.
all of these, think about the track of history over decades of wrestling. Like, what is it? How does black culture like feel in pro wrestling to you? Like, has it evolved a lot from the earlier days? Has it always been the same and it's just a lot more open and free now? Like, what's your views on black culture and pro wrestling right now?
Well, being somebody that started watching wrestling in the early 90s, and I mean by early 90s as in 1990, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I pretty much seen everything
Mm-hmm.
like over the last 30 years as far as black wrestlers go. And I can
Mm-hmm.
tell you, all of it ain't been good. Now, I'm seeing some stuff that I didn't get back
Mm-hmm.
then. Like, I remember when they had Tony Atlas coming out with the Shaka Zulu gimmick, or just
Oh,
like
yeah.
every those between there, you have the hip hop, ha, 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 you don't stop. All them dudes coming down there doing that, and they either I always said, like, in between then and maybe up until like a few years ago, like when New Day came out,
Mm-hmm.
like if you was a black wrestler, either you was mad, you was dancing, you was rapping, or you was androgynous or something like that, like Velveteen or something like that. Like, for real, like those, like, or the flashy dudes like MVP or something, like you like that,
Oh,
like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
you brash, you like you always loud for some reason, like you just loud. So so when New Day came out, no, they loud too, but it's like they wasn't like, they look like they gimmicky, but you can tell like they just like be doing their thing. So it kind of, all right. So it's refreshing because I mean, Crime Time was like gimmicky as like than a
Oh,
mug, but I I like I like they style, but like I remember when I first seen them, I was like, good lord, they just going for it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
hey, I appreciated what they did. I was still on their side because like no matter what, like even like a kid, like if your gimmick was trash or whatever like that, like I'm like, man, you black, I'm on your side, let's do it.
Come
And
on.
I forgot to mention, you said Junkyard Dog. I forgot him. And I gotta put Rodney Mack in there. That was my
Oh, the white boy challenge, baby.
guy.
The white
Hey,
boy
Marty,
challenge.
yes,
Rodney
sir.
Mack, listen, man. Listen. Okay. Need you on Life's About podcast, my guy. Okay. I need to get you on. I know somebody out there. If you got to connect, tell them. Hit me up, man. Life's About podcast at gmail.com, y'all. Hey, tell this man we need to get him on here because we need to find out about that white boy challenge, man. For real. We need that jump back on the
So,
slick. For real,
man,
bro. That
I
way.
watch his matches now. I watch him, Mark Henry, Big Zeke. Like
Yeah.
there's so many black wrestlers. I didn't even realize I left so many out.
Yeah,
But
yeah, there was a lot of them, man. Like I said, you can't really name everyone, but to me, when I do that question, it's more like who stood out the most to you. You know, this is kind of more like a personal question on which ones that like really stuck to you because we can name them all day, like who we liked and this and that because we black. You know, they relatable. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the
yeah,
gimmick, regardless of it, but like there's some that just stick with you and you say, yeah, that's it. You know, like for me, of course, Booker T, like you said, Booker T was always a guy. Booker T and Stevie Ray, Harlem Heat in general. I remember seeing them and hearing the theme song, and I'm like, oh yeah, dog. Hey, who are these dudes? I like these dudes, man. Booker T made you want to just put a band-aid over your nose just cause. You know what I mean? When the dreads came out and he started, you know, at first I didn't like WWE Booker T at first, but once them dreads started swinging and hanging, and that man, can you dig it, sucker? Like, dog, it made your boy want to grow dreads. That's the reason my hair growing out now. I'm like, man, I've always wanted to do the Booker T, and I'm able to do it now. I'm like, yes, you know.
like I had to grow to love WWE Booker T too because I was such a WCW Booker T guy. Like he is that dude. He's like, and then he
Yeah,
came over there. He essentially working from the bottom, but he was on top. But
yeah.
like no Booker, hey, Booker's a legend, man.
I'm telling you, man. So it's just one of those reasons where I like these answers coming from you, brother, because that's good perspective to see that it really has evolved. I mean, I really appreciate and love the fact that you do see um a lot more black wrestlers now than you did over the span of decades like that, you know. Because when you think about you didn't see a lot of main event black folks. You didn't see a lot of black folks in the main event. You know, I saw them in the mid card, or dare I say, maybe jobber to some degree. You know, like a Ricky Smiley, another guy. Man, Norman Smiley,
Like you talking
man.
about Norman Smiley,
Norman Smiley.
the
I always
Big Wizard.
confused him with Ricky because once, see, the thing was, I knew Norman first, right? But when Ricky came out and I started hearing about Ricky, I used to always confuse them too because I was like, oh man, like, but Norman Smiley, guys, Norman Smiley was
Norman
actually one of my
Smiley.
favorites. I feel like he doesn't get talked about enough sometimes too, man, because he was a guy. I just love when he come out. He just grooving. He was doing like that bankhead bounce, man. He was just,
That
you know what I
booty.
mean? Like,
I
dog.
tried to imitate his body slam so many times. I was like, man, I'm gonna tear my knees up trying to do this. So I do a basic rendition of his body slam. I still swing him, but I'm not doing all that twirling. I just stand up
Yeah.
and swing him.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Shout out to Norman, another guy. We definitely at some point down the line, we got to get that man on the show just to be like, hey, Norman, come on, bro. Tell us the secret of that black excellence like that, man. But yeah, dog, like that's some real good aspects. So where do you see pro wrestling now for black culture in the next, say, 5 to 10 years? Like, how do you view black pro wrestling right now? Like, do you think we'll get a all black wrestling promotion at some point? Do you think what do you honestly see for black pro wrestlers as a whole in the next 5 to 10 years?
I mean, it could definitely be an all black promotion. and the next 5 to 10 years it's just gonna depend on the black people, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Like I ain't no me, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm just giving from my experience without giving away too
Mm-hmm.
much. But as far as black wrestlers as a culture in general for the next 5 to 10 years, I will see you're starting to see it more now. You're starting to see people be their authentic selves. Like it's not as gimmicky. Like I can
Mm-hmm.
look at a wrestler now, like you could tell if somebody faking the funk. But I can look at
Mm-hmm.
that young cat, that Carmelo cat from NXT, and have
Ooh,
like when he
yeah,
just dripped out,
yeah.
and the Montez Ford, I could tell like people might think that's gimmicky, but I could look at him like, man, that's really them. Like
That's
Montez
him.
Ford, this old goofy dancing dude, fresh,
Yeah.
fresh in the mug, like jumping to the heavens, like crazy athletic dude. Like you're gonna see a
Mm-hmm.
lot more people being their authentic selves, and this hard because everybody wanna like do some type of gimmick. But one thing they teach us is like if you're a wrestler, be you times turned up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just gonna start seeing people being their authentic selves, like no matter what background they came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that thought because another black wrestler we could go on to mention, as gimmicky as the character may be, we've actually had him, shout out, shameless plug again, shout out to this man they call Charles Wright, aka the Godfather, who's also been, oh, by the
Man,
way, to those who don't know, your boy is nicknamed and deemed the apprentice pimp of the Godfather. Okay, you don't believe me? If you don't believe me, go back into the archives, look for the episode with the Godfather where he literally nicknamed and deemed your boy the apprentice pimp. Trust me when I say, for the Life's a Botch brand, those shirts will be coming soon. Therefore,
and he's the perfect example because Godfather was actually doing that back then. He's running strip clubs. He was really about that pimp life. So you
yeah.
think about how he came in, and his gimmicks flopped like Papa Shango and Kama. They flopped. But when he turned himself up, his true self, his authentic self, the
Mm-hmm.
the pimp daddy that he really was, and
Mm-hmm.
turned it up a notch, that's his most successful character because he is being himself, but
Mm-hmm.
turned up to the max. And that's what it's all
I
about. And
love
you had a hellacious run, and people gonna always remember the Godfather. Like if you
that.
old school like me and you, yeah, you gonna remember Papa Shango and Kama.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everybody else, the young cats, they gonna always remember who the Godfather is. So he the perfect example.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, that thing, honestly, I mean, he even admitted himself right here on the show. Like, I remember sitting and chopping it up with him, and he literally said that was legitimately him. Out of any character, that
Yep.
really was him. Now, to a degree, he did mention, for the record, people, he does not like pimps in real life. Okay, he actually
Mhm.
hates pimps. But in terms of, like you said, having fun, smoking a fatty, kicking it with the
Yep.
ladies, all that, that was authentically him, and he loved every minute of
And
it.
just turned it up. A better like
Turned it
living
up.
a version of yourself. So that's
Yeah.
all. Took what he
Yeah.
knew.
And it was over. You know what I mean? The fans ate it up every single. I was just watching 2002 Royal Rumble not too long ago, and I just remember right when he came out, how that crowd went so crazy because that was his re-debut. You know what I mean? And
That made
crowd,
us come out like.
you know what I'm saying? He came
But
out,
that my dude, bro.
went and
I
grabbed
love the
like
Godfather growing up.
50 million girls and just pulled them all out and just kept on dancing. I'm like,
Man, he came
man,
out there dancing, but and then
man.
he came, he started popping. I was like, just turned a teenager, so you already know we was rocking with the Godfather.
Best time
You
too, man.
already
I'm
know.
telling you, hands down, hands down. So, all of those to say, now that we got all that being said, that's a great answer. I love that answer from you, Daryl. So we're gonna see, because I totally agree with you. We can already see a lot of wrestlers, black wrestlers, being themselves authentically, not trying to be a gimmick or anything. They're taking who they are, and who they are is the gimmick because it's real life, and it's over if it's over. You know what I mean? They're doing what they
Hmm.
need to do, and if it's not over, they're finding ways to add a little something extra to it to turn it up a notch to get it over. So at the end of the day,
Hmm.
they are who they are, and I can't wait to see Black wrestling in the next 5 to 10 years, where it heads and how it evolves and elevates. Because that's what we do, baby. We evolve. We keep evolving. You know, people take culture that we do. We do that. That's just how we are. That's how we build. Okay. So let's get into some fun with the show now. Let's get into a little fun here, my guy. So
Always.
right now, man, this is the part where I'm gonna ask you. Now, I want to know. Talk to your boy and tell me. It's gonna be tough. It's got a lot of themes out there, but I need you to tell me right now. What is your top 5 favorite Black wrestling themes?
Well, since we done talked them up, I'll probably put Godfather at number 1 because I just like the way that guitar came in and that bass.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely Godfather. I say the nation theme, the one that's like not the first Nation of Domination theme, but the one like when they had like the Rock and D-Lo in them, like when it's like a slowed up version of the Rock's current theme song. That one definitely.
Yeah.
Harlem Heat.
Of course.
Boy,
Yeah. Okay.
that that thing that song used to slap for real. And
Real.
it's gonna be so many of them, and I'm probably gonna miss out a lot of them. But the primetime players they first theme song, not the
Oh.
not the make not the making moves. That's a good one too, the making moves. But that like move, get it, can I get it? Yeah, like that one. I thought that one you slapped too. And for the fifth one, man, I don't know. I thought this was gonna be a lot easier. Um, I'm gonna say D-Lo. You looking at the real deal now.
Put D-Lo in there. Say what? Okay. Okay.
I heard my neck plenty of times trying to do that walk in 8th grade, man.
Man, oh my goodness, bro. Whiplash City trying to do that. Man,
what?
you know what?
Still can't do it.
I'm props to D-Lo for being able to do that for so many years without any kind of neck problems. But hey, man, it works. It works. He made it work. But I love it, man. I love it, D. Like, man, that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, you literally just signified, like, that was a unique list, by the way, because it was very unique. Because when I ask this to every other wrestler, it's going to be very interesting to see how many themes are common and how many are not. And so I'm going to remember that list so that we can compare them to some of the others, and we're going to see who gets left out. We're going to see who gets brought in, all that good stuff. But nonetheless, my guy solidified this as one of the greatest list of all time. So real quick, man, tell me some of your top 5 right now. Who are your top 5 Black wrestlers right now? And who would you say are your top 5 all time?
Whew. All right. Right now, I'm gonna put Lashley up there. He's top of the food chain.
Okay.
Like Lashley doing this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make it too many of the major players, but like Biggie and Lashley gonna be like my top like major players.
Okay.
And then um for I guess 3 or 2, whatever order is going in, it's a cat that's making moves in MLW right now.
Okay.
Alex Kane.
Woo!
Done work the suplex assassin. Yeah, I
Yeah.
done work had a nice little feud with him last year. So
Okay.
I could see him. He got the look. Um, right now that I enjoy watching because I watch a lot of indie stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, man. Don't leave your indie
um,
guys out. You gotta throw them in there too,
uh,
man. Let's get them in there.
well, it's my dog Lamar Diggs. He's
Okay.
based out of Georgia. Remember the
Okay.
name.
Lamar
He gonna be
Diggs.
making a lot of noise.
All
I
right.
guess
All
my
right.
final one, my number one right now. I'm gonna say the Tribe, baby. They smooth.
Woo! Whoa! Come on! Come on! Shout out to the tribe, y'all. Shout out to the tribe.
Yes, sir.
Top 5. Top 5. And you know, the reason why I keep it at top 5, because we got to do this for the 5 time. 5-time, 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 5-time
Oh yeah,
WCW
and that's
champion.
and that top five, like it make you really think. Like I just did. Like if you just telling me just name, I would probably would have been naming a whole bunch of people. But that top five, like really
It gets
get
you
that mind going. Just
going. That's why I limit it, you
just
know.
like yeah, just like out there, like you got to be using your head. So
Gotta
I
use your
like that.
head. I love it, man. So go ahead now. Now we done got the present, you know what I'm saying, the current right now. I need your top 5 all time. So this is really gonna be challenging because now you're digging from past, present, future. Like who you got in your all time right now? Top 5 black wrestlers all time.
All time. Rodney Mack,
Okay.
Bad News Brown,
Ooh,
uh,
okay.
Butch Reed,
Okay.
um, Mark Henry,
Ooh, okay, okay.
and let's see who I want to go for this last one of all time. Man, I gotta put Booker in there just because he's so decorated, man. Like if you think like he's the marking stick as far as like most successful like black wrestler like of our era of our time
Mm-hmm.
is him. So I gotta put Booker on
Mm,
there.
that makes sense. You know what really is so amazing out of all of this is that not one time, with the exception of a sprinkle of the nation here and there, not
Mhm.
one time have I heard you mention The Rock. And that is very interesting.
I
Normally,
thought
I
the
hear
rock
that a
when I talk
lot.
about when I talk about the nation music, I mean probably threw a little sprinkle of the rock in there.
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, I've noticed you threw some sprinkles in there when it came to the nation, but not one time. Usually, right? And I'm sure that's why I said, you know, down the line, I'm going to hear this with probably some of the other guests that I bring on with this question. So I'm sure The Rock's going to come up with more. But again, just to show how standout and unique my boy Darrell is. You know what I'm saying? This is not to down credit everything The Rock's done. I get it because I know that's the first person you usually hear come out of a person's mouth when they
Yeah,
talk about a top black wrestler or you know different top black wrestling theme, you know, because of how iconic if you smell, you know, just all
hmm
that, right? So
yeah, and today credit like a lot of them like started out watching wrestling in the late '90s. So The Rock was a guy. I started out in the early '90s. The
mm-hmm,
Rock was like, don't get me wrong, I was a huge Rock fan, but The
mm-hmm,
Rock then started popping off till I was like much older. Like I still
mm-hmm,
rock with him, but there's so many black wrestlers before. That's what I'm saying. Like Butch Reed and like Bad
mm-hmm.
News Brown. These
Come on,
these are people I seen
come on.
before The Rock. So
Come on, my guy. Giving it to him for the youngins out there, giving them all the little nuggets. Now they're going to go research and be like, oh, Bad News Brown. Who's this Bad News Brown guy?
please,
Oh, Junkyard Dog.
you will
What?
not be disappointed.
You already know, man. We in a Google situation. You already know, man. That's a Google situation for you, baby. Go
Oh
look up
yeah,
some of them names that was mentioned up by my boy Darrell Shaw. So, Darrell, man, before I let you go, my guy, I must ask now. One last thing is what you got coming up for the people so that they can keep up with you and tell them where to follow you, my guy.
man. Right now, just follow me. Hit me up on Facebook at Darrell Shaw. You'll see me on there. Like you'll know it's me. You'll see this mug. You're gonna see me with the Tupac bandana with the Biggie jersey on because I like both of them.
Come
So
on now.
I come rocking it just like that. And you can find me on there. And that's where I keep up for real. Like 2021 was a pretty good year. And well, it was good. Like it was some things like within our company, like some BS that happened, and I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna get into all the personal crap that happens in the South. So it kind of went down a little bit, but it went back up in 2022. It's much better, getting more opportunities, branching out, traveling more, just connecting with people, just just getting my matches up, man. Just trying to do everything, keeping in contact with great people like you and like Janelle at the Jobber Tears. Like y'all do so much for
Yeah.
us.
Yes,
Like
sir.
not just wrestling in general. Like y'all do a lot for us. So I
Yes, sir.
definitely appreciate y'all.
Man, listen, we appreciate you, brother. Seriously, man. You guys are the reason why we create platforms like what we do, you know, to not only elevate you guys and salute you guys for what you grind in and what y'all do for us, man, to entertain the people and also represent us as Black culture. But also, man, just to say thank you, man, because y'all are highly respected and appreciated for the work that y'all put in, regardless of the level, regardless of where you at. We thank y'all and we pushing y'all and encouraging y'all because when we see y'all on the TV screens, we know, hey, shout out to my guy, man. My guy Darrell Shaw up there killing them right now. Boy, look at that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know what it is, dog. You fam, man. You know we gotta bring you down. And it ain't the last time. People gonna know about you some more, because trust me, we're gonna have you on again and again and again and again. You already know. So before I let you go one more time, man. You wanna give the people a promo skill real quick? You wanna cut a little promo on one time?
Oh man, it's been a minute. I give them a little something though. What I learned during training, give me a little. Ain't got to be long, Got to gauge the audience. So I give you a little something.
Yeah, give him a little taste of a promo real quick. Cut a promo on them, my guy.
Off top of the dome.
Let's get it.
It's the big stepper, Darrell Shaw, coming to you live from the south side of Chicago, 63rd Street, representing. Now, I know it's a lot of y'all out there wondering, who is this guy? Hey, you ain't got to ask for too long, because very, very soon, y'all going to get to know me in a way that you probably don't want to get to know me. So, hey, if you rock with me, you just rock with me. If you don't, you're going to wish you did, because once you're in that ring with me, you're going to be up looking at the lights, because that's how I get down. Tribe up.
Tribe up. You already know what it is, dog. That's my guy. Straight up. Tribe, make some noise. Tribe, stand up. Let's tribe up this thing, baby, because you already know what's going down. My tribe greater than yours, baby. What's it happening? That's what I'm talking about.
Already.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know, man. This is how we doing. Get used to it. All February, straight up blackness, man. We giving Black guests, Black thoughts and opinions, Black top fives, and Black culture all through the Life's a Botch podcast. So if you're listening, you ain't Black and you got a problem with it, well, hey, man, you should know. Your host is Black. You should know I'm Black by now. So you know I got to bring the blackness to my show. That's what we do, okay? Either way, I still love and appreciate you. Now, if you wait until like further down the line, hey, that's cool. Maybe you skip in February. I get it. No judgment, okay? No, it's a no judgment free zone. You know what I mean? Still, I appreciate y'all though, man, because y'all my peoples. I love y'all. I respect y'all and I value y'all, man. That's what we do right here on the Life's a Botch podcast. So without further ado, man, you already know, follow the Life's a Botch podcast on Instagram at Life's a Botch podcast. Also, go follow and like the Facebook on Life's a Botch podcast on Facebook. You know what it is. Get used to the homie Darrell Shaw. Like I said, you're seeing him all over Facebook, grinding it out with the tribe, putting in the work. You're going to see him on your TV screens. You're going to see him all over the internet flyers. You're going to see him everywhere. So get used to it. And you're going to see him right here again some more on the Life's a Botch podcast. So that being said, until the next time, man, y'all already know how we do it. It's your boy Dwayne, aka the Highlight Reel, the Prince of Botch, and the Apprentice Pimp. And we signing out this thing. Peace.
Hey, Highlight, I want to say one more thing, Highlight.
What you got, my guy? What's up?
Shane Taylor, we own you.
Shane Taylor. Hey.
Holla at your boy.
Shane
Taylor Promotions. Last Tribe. Hey,
come on.
What we got? What Jobber Slam at next year? Jobber Tears. Make that happen.
You hear that?
Let's get this money.
Let's get this money, Shane. Hey, listen, you got the Black wrestler up and coming right here. You got the voice with all the choice right here, Shane Taylor. I'm talking about, listen, man, ain't no more charismatic than right here on the Life's a Botch, man. Look, bro, we ready. Get the tribe up, boy. Get the tribe up, man. Hey, y'all catch us next time, dog. We're finna be out this piece. It's time to tribe out. Let's go.
Yes, sir.